He's an athlete, he's a creator, he's a visionary, he's an entrepreneur, and so much more. It's very, very difficult to explain him. So let's welcome a former Mr. Olympia finalist, Mr. Seif El Hakim. Welcome to the show.
Travel teaches you one thing, which is your growth will never happen in a comfort zone. You're going outside of your country all alone, and anything can happen. In our culture, you can take it as rudeness, but actually it's a form of respect. Russia, to summarize it, what taught me is the mental toughness. If I talk about Iraq, it's a school of resilience. With all the cases happening, people are gonna be smiling in your face.
I'm surprised, even with all the problems and the wars.
Dubai is a place where dreamers turn to executors. I'm gonna die, that is my responsibility. If I'm gonna get bankrupt, it is my responsibility. So relying on yourself and being accountable for the outcome.
You like the frame? Anything is fine. Okay. All right, no problem. All right, I'll start over. Welcome to License to Explore with your host Rohit. This is the show where we uncover journeys along with
Every travel you do, you get to be a different person.
The traffic is something that we don't want to talk about.
Every country has its own weird food habits.
I realized that every city has a sound.
The only reason why I was able to make money is because of my network.
Of course, I think social media has affected the way people travel a lot.
Anywhere I go, I look at everything from marketing research point of view.
Taking people to space is going to be a reality.
It appears that I am the perfect candidate for a spy.
People think I have a double life. As a woman, it never really truly leaves you wherever you are.
Have to go out of this. If we really want to go successful, we need to go out of Germany.
People learn the art of selling. You will never be broke. You will never be out of money.
You don't have to be fully ready to do something.
It's more of psychology, and it's 10 other jobs.
Welcome to License to Explore with your host Rohit. This is the show where we uncover travel journeys and stories of our incredible guests. Today in the studio we have somebody amazing. He's an athlete, he's a creator, he's a visionary, he's an entrepreneur, and so much more. It's very, very difficult to explain him in few words. I think I need an hour to introduce my guest. So let's welcome a former Mr. Olympia finalist, Mr. Seif El Hakim. Welcome to the show.
Brother, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me today. And I believe this is going to be the first, I would say, interview that the audience will see a different side of me.
Amazing.
So I'm looking forward, and thank you for having me today.
So thank you for coming, Seif. How was your day today? How was your day? I know it's busy, Text Rush.
Always great. Always. You have to make the day great regardless.
Seif, before we open your travel files, I just want you to introduce yourself in your own words, because there is so much about your personality. You are also a podcast host. You run one of the region's top podcasts, and you're part of the Alpha movement, and you are an author and a book writer, award-winning book writer. So can you please introduce yourself in your own words to the audience so they get to know you better?
It's a tough one, but let me try to put it simple and straight.
Okay.
So people call me the Alpha because of many things which we'll dig deep into the interview. But I basically wore three hats or through journeys in my life. As a corporate executive, I've been a ex-CMO of Samsung regional head office, and been an 8-figure entrepreneur and an athlete as well, like as Mr. Olympia finalist, national team of Kung Fu. And I also created what is called the Alpha movement.
Alpha movement, yes.
Where it has a lot of pillars underneath. One of them is the show that I run, which is quite successful, touch wood and thank God.
MashaAllah.
So that's in a nutshell.
Amazing, amazing. So before we actually open your travel files, I wanted to know, when did the travel bug bite you, or how old were you when you traveled first? Which country you went to? What really happened in your early days of travel, or the beginning days that you remember?
You know, the best thing is like when you were born, and back in the days, because we're a little bit old.
Yes.
So you understand that the world ends outside of your neighborhood. That
Correct.
there is no world anymore.
Yeah.
So once you understand that there is a different thing, a new world beyond your neighborhood, you start to be curious, and I'm by nature curious.
Right.
I wanted to see things more. I wanted to explore. That's why people tell me you're like a mad scientist. You always like to try.
It's like Einstein.
Exactly. But the best thing is, for me, it wasn't like just looking at places or seeing new places. It was more of discovering different personalities, how people think, So that's where the click came. I need to travel, I need to see, I need to explore. That's where it started. And I believe, as I remember, it's been very long. The first country that I visited was Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How old were you that time?
I even don't remember.
Don't even remember?
Yeah, school time.
So from Cairo straight to Switzerland?
Yeah, to Switzerland, yeah.
Wow, that must be amazing. That must be a beautiful experience.
Amazing. It's like Switzerland is like part of a magazine. You're looking at a magazine.
Yes.
So it is. So that
It's
was my
priceless
first.
views, the climate, the weather, and
True,
everything.
the nature, the greenery, especially
So-
if you're coming from the Middle East.
Right, especially if you're coming from Middle East and going from Cairo straight to Switzerland, I think that must have been a 360-degree
Exactly.
transformation.
What the hell is this?
Where am I? It's like so
What the
beautiful.
hell is this?
So, Saif, every traveler has a persona, right? Some of us, I mean, like back in the days, maybe your persona was different. Today, your persona is different because, you know, some travelers are like budget travelers, some travelers are luxury travelers, some travelers are business travelers who travel only for work and anything. What's your travel persona?
It's similar to life. Explorer.
Explorer persona.
Yes. Just let me explore. So even my travel, I've never planned the travel.
Okay, you don't plan it.
I never planned the travel. I planned my flight, usually 2 days before, and where I'm gonna stay, and that's it.
That's it.
And let my curiosity take over.
Wow.
So it's an explorer, 100% explorer. Been like this since day one.
That's a very unique way of living life because as an explorer, you know, you don't have an agenda and you're
Totally.
exploring things and you let things unfold and it's a natural evolution of
Exactly.
stuff.
And I'll tell you one thing. I noticed it with a trip to Montenegro. I had absolutely, you know, like when you travel somewhere and even you don't have any expectations for it. And when you see something, oh my God. So when you travel to a place where you don't have an expectation and then the reality hits you, either good or bad. But when the reality hits you, it hits you right. Like this was one of my best trips. For example, like I was like, wow.
Amazing, amazing. So, sir, we asked this question to everybody on our show that if I gave you today a first class ticket, no question asked, where would you go and why?
I would choose two places.
Okay.
One place is it's gonna be Iran. This is where is my wife from. Why I'm saying this? Because being an Egyptian, it's not that easy to travel to Iran. So get me a first flight ticket.
Iran,
and I'm gonna go
okay.
there. The second, it's gonna be Japan.
Okay.
Because it has a different taste, a different feeling.
Yes.
The feeling of ancient, you say like ancient authenticity.
Authenticity, yes.
Exactly, and the future vision combined together.
very futuristic.
Absolutely.
The technology
True.
and everything that it offers as a
Superb.
package. Great, it's amazing. It's great choices, you know, if I were you. I mean, Japan is somewhere I've never been to. But yeah, I think that's something I would like to go to. And Yerevan sounds very, very interesting. And your wife is from there, you just mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. So tell me, Saif, you lived in Egypt, you lived in Russia, South Korea, Turkey, and Iraq as well. You know, these are such unique places, or they bring different type of energies out. How have these experiences shaped the way you live your world today?
Sometimes when we talk about travel and living somewhere, you think that you're gonna explore, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, for me, was a little bit different. Meaning, it's every place that I lived in, and I mean living.
Yeah,
because
living, not traveling, living.
Exactly, living. It strips away part of your old self.
Right.
Okay, so keep stripping away, until the truth appears, which will absolutely reveal yourself, who you are to the smallest, I would say, bone cell. So you're absolutely revealing yourself. So living in different countries, I am blessed, I would say,
Yes.
blessed that I had, like, God grace and opportunity to see myself to the smallest cell, the truth about Seif.
You said something very amazing, because when you are actually living in different countries, you're giving a part of yourself to that country, that region. And of course, the learnings from that are huge. And it's like, you know, it's hard to explain in words. I mean, I don't think any feeling can describe the experience you went through, the education you got from there, or the knowledge you got from there. You know, it's really
Priceless.
really amazing. So tell me, Saif, we spoke about your first trip to Switzerland. What was your first culture shock that you got when you left Egypt and explored the world outside Egypt? Was it the food, the people, or the way of life? What was it?
I would talk about Russia.
Okay.
Because that's a shock from a perspective of directness.
Right.
Russians are known by being direct. So there is no sugarcoating. I come from Egypt. A lot of things that we say, we sugarcoat it. The culture shock was like, oh my God, like, and in our culture, you can take it as rudeness. But actually, it's a form of respect. Like, that was an absolute culture. How on earth you say this? Maybe you say it the other way. You understand the sugarcoating. That was an amazing culture shock for me as well.
So what surprised you most about the Russian mindset and the way of doing business there? Because you live there, so maybe you can tell the audience a little bit more about the way business is done in Russia or the whole aspect of living in Russia.
Russia, to summarize it, what taught me is the mental toughness. And I mean like in the discipline, in the strength, in doing business on commitments, on handshake, on words. Really, Russia revealed on me or forged in me my strength and I would say mental toughness.
Wow.
It's an amazing school, let's put it that way.
So if somebody is going to Russia today in the current scenario with all the geopolitical challenges that people are facing,
true,
where would you recommend that they can go to? Which city or what's your suggestion to our guests?
You know, there is a lot of lovely places in Russia. Of course, they need to see Moscow because it's the capital. But St. Petersburg, it's amazing from the architecture and so on and so forth. And if you want to go towards nature, mountains and Kamchatka, for example, it's a huge place for tourism, a huge country. It's not how you call it, advertised in that way, but it's such a lovely place to go.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misconception around it. People don't know. People think, the language is a barrier and how am I going to communicate and what am I going to eat? The food probably is not right for me. A lot of people have this kind of inhibitions.
You're right, but if you have this kind of perception, better stay at home.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you can't explore. Then you're not an explorer. Then you need to just stay at home. Tell me, Seif, you also lived in South Korea.
Yeah.
A place that mixes tradition and technology. I think it's very high in tech.
Yeah.
And like nowhere else, the technology you can find there. What's one lesson you took away from your time in South Korea that you want to share with the audience?
Precision. Koreans, they don't do almost. There is no almost. There is no almost done almost. I would say it has to be perfect. Either you're doing a coffee or you're doing a presentation or it has to be done perfectly. A lot of people will say like, oh my God, like nothing is perfect. There is perfect to your perception. Like I did it perfect to my perception. That's what Korean teaches. Precision.
So, I mean, you lived there. Was it during the time of Samsung or before that? Or
it's Samsung time.
Okay.
I studied there. I lived there.
You worked there?
I worked there. It's all with Samsung. So I studied with Samsung, my MBA, and I worked in the headquarters with Samsung, all in South Korea. 5 years.
Oh, that's amazing. It must have been a great, enriching experience
amazing
for you.
One.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about Turkey and Iraq. There are two countries which are very rich when it comes to history.
Yeah.
And they're also a big contrast between what Turkey is and Iraq is, right? What stood out for you the most about the culture and the people in both these places?
If I talk about Iraq, it's a school of resilience. It's a school of resilience. In a sense of, with all the cases happening, people are going to be smiling in your face. They're going to be inviting you for food. With all the cases happening.
I'm surprised, even with all the problems and the wars and...
So warm. So like, from an Iraq standpoint, it teaches you resilience. Regardless of what's happening, we're moving on. With happiness. Because you can move on being dull. But we're moving on with happiness.
Something very hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's incredible the people are built like that.
Absolutely. So that's Iraq. If I talk about Turkey, we can slash it under emotional intelligence. Means like logic not always wins. Sometimes relationship open more doors than just logic and business things. This is Turkey of emotional intelligence more from the countries that I lived in. And I believe in the world, it's more or less similar to Middle East.
Right. So are you saying that if you're trying to live in Turkey or trying to travel to Turkey, you have to have a very open mind or?
Open mind, but I talk about emotional intelligence.
Yes.
So you need to understand the situation, not only like go for lunches, go for dinners, get close, break the ice. This can open doors. Regardless, like the business model that you have, the numbers on the paper, the more in that direction.
Wow, it's amazing. So it's a good tip for people who want to go to Turkey.
Yeah, it is.
That you should understand emotional quotient, and
of course,
accordingly you can adapt yourself and travel your journey. So you also traveled to a lot of fascinating destinations like Indonesia, Greece, Spain, Montenegro. You spoke about, and Japan also. You've traveled there before, right? Because. So which one of them left a very lasting mark on your soul and why?
I would say Dubai because I met my wife. And the second city is going to be Moscow. Because Moscow forged the character that is sitting with you. From that perspective, these are the two cities. And of course, a lot of cities kept a mark, but these are the main two.
Understand. So let's talk a little bit about Dubai. Let's kind of expand on that. You've been based here for a while now. How does Dubai fit into your story as a global entrepreneur and a traveler?
You know, Dubai is a capital of, how you call it, I don't want to say dreamers, but here where the dreamers move towards execution. There are a lot of places around the world that you can dream, but you won't have the tools and the facilities and the structure to be an executor. Dubai is a place where dreamers turn to executors. And here is where the Alpha movement, with all its pillars, was born, created, and even went globally from Dubai.
So would you say Dubai is a place where dreamers become achievers? When you said execution, I'm trying to sort of, but once you execute, you have a vision or you have a goal, you have an end result, right? Like, okay, and then you achieve something at the end, right? At the end, you want to reach a milestone or you want to be
an achiever, and the DNA of Dubai will make you to move. You understand? Like move.
Yeah.
So if you have a dream, it will push you to move in order to sustain and be, I'm not going to say visible, but able to survive within the business landscape in Dubai. You need to move and act. So when you move and act, by nature, you will achieve. The problem is that people do not move and act. They just are dreamers and they don't do anything. But when you move and act, regardless how long it's going to take and how many pivots you're going to take, you're going to achieve something. And Dubai gives you this infrastructure, the facilities, the support. I'm not talking from a city perspective as well. Like I'm talking the city, the government, the institutes, your network. They will all push you to move.
Amazing, yeah. Living in Dubai is a completely different experience, and Dubai does a lot for you, and
of course,
it changes you the way you are, and you evolve, and then like how Dubai has been growing over the years. Like
of course.
20 years back, there was no Burj Khalifa, but the vision of the leaders and the rulers is amazing, and that supports the entire ecosystem.
100%.
So tell me, since you travel a lot, did you ever have any close call while traveling, like you missed a flight or you lost a passport or some such incident ever happened to you?
Lost baggage, like, of course, like a lot. Lost luggage, lost passport. But there are incidents like within countries. Like I remember the moment. Like Moscow is super cold, like not just cold.
Yeah, super cold. Yeah.
Super cold. So I remember I was in the suburbs in Moscow, and I had the luck that the battery of the car bye.
Okay.
My phone bye, and then you had to survive, and I mean cold. No, cold you can reach death with it. So you have to. I went out of the car, nothing with me, and I had to walk in this freezing weather, I think 4 hours. Regardless the situation, it taught me one thing. You can never rely on anything. You cannot rely on money, so even if I have money in my pocket, it won't help me. You can't rely on technology. It was gone. And even people around me, there is nobody. So it teaches you, rely on yourself. So either you're going to survive, or literally, I was going to die from, I'm going to freeze. So then come and challenge me, like, I'm going to rely on myself. And it taught me a lesson in life. You always rely on yourself. Yeah, there are people that support you, but always keep it in your mind that is your responsibility. you're gonna pass whatever it is.
What you're saying is that it teaches you to be independent. It teaches you not to depend on anybody or anything, not even anybody. Like you said, maybe money will not work, maybe technology will not work, and this can happen. Yes,
true.
Like lately now, like for the last few weeks, we are seeing a very slow internet connection all over the world, especially in the Middle East because of the outage of the cables, right?
True, but it teaches you this thing. It's not about like I don't care about like people. No. Whatever it is, I'm accountable to the outcome. So if let's say I'm gonna die, that is my responsibility. If I'm gonna get bankrupt, it is my responsibility. If this will it is my responsibility. So you're relying on yourself and being accountable for the outcome.
So in a way, like I understand where you're coming from. So accountability is the word you use. So that's a very key thing, because I think you will try to depend on yourself rather than the entire system around you. True. And hold yourself responsible for what's happening and take control of the situation rather than...
Of course, yeah.
Amazing. So out of everywhere you've been to, which country you find as the most kindest people and why?
Philippines.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Humble, kind, supportive, happy. They are.
Yeah, happy-going people, lucky-going people, singing all the time, karaoke,
down to earth,
eating food, and humble people. Amazing. I have the same experience.
They are.
I went to Cebu and really had a great time, and I also went to some other off-site locations like in Mactan and Kawasan Falls.
Phi Islands?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't go there, but I tried to go to the Kawasan Falls and swimming with the whale sharks in Oslo. It was a great experience. And recently I went to Boracay. It's beautiful, the white sand beaches. And I think really to define the experience there, it's kind of very chilled out, relaxed, and no pressure, and people are cool and easygoing.
Exactly. And even the foreigners that they attract fit into this
culture.
Persona,
exactly. Yeah, it's a great experience. I share the same sentiment with you that it's a very different experience. So travel often teaches us, like based on what you said, travel often teaches us how to be more flexible and sometimes be more disciplined, and also adaptability. I think a lot of things you said amounts to that. But these two traits, which is discipline and adaptability, so I think you live by it with your everything you do. I think this is kind of also part of your pillars and the way of your life, right? I mean, apart from what you just told us, is there any other very big lesson that travel has taught you?
You know, if you look at travel from a global perspective, travel teaches you one thing, which is your growth will never happen in a comfort zone. So if you look at the travel from a global perspective, the airport, you're losing your passport, you're getting lost in a city, this is all things that happen, and you need to act, you need to forge yourself, you need to develop in order to pass it. So it teaches you, as when we say to anyone, don't stay in your comfort zone. Traveling, it's like this. You're going outside of your country all alone, and anything can happen.
Exactly. And you don't know what to expect, so you should be prepared for everything and then live it by the moment and enjoy the moment.
Absolutely.
Great, that's really amazing tips. Now I want to just change the gears a bit and try to ask you about some expert tips and hacks. Okay, so what's a travel hack most people don't know about that you know? Is there any travel hack you know that you think people don't know about?
Maybe it could be one with regards to booking.
Okay.
Like if you're trying to book on days that, the travel agents, the flight operators, they usually switch fares in a particular date, in a day of a week. So if, for example, you're booking between 2 to 3 a.m. On a Tuesday, you're going to get the best rates.
Right. It's a good hack, actually.
Absolutely.
People should try to book on a Tuesday and try to book at hours which, when the switches are happening. And
exactly.
You'll probably get the fares you cannot believe, because sometimes fares open up. Usually during the weekends, the fares are always crazy and skyrocketing. And right. Similarly, do you have any hack for booking hotels? Does this apply to hotels or?
There is no big hack. But as much as early, which I don't fit in this, as much as
you book 2 days before.
Exactly.
You plan your trips 2 days before.
As much early as possible, that will be the best.
The earlier you book, the better.
The better you get.
Okay, that makes sense. What about common travel mistakes people make? Do you know any mistakes? Do you feel like any rookie mistakes that people make while traveling?
When people go after content, let's say, like for example,
Like for Instagram, when you travel for Instagram,
exactly. Like when
just you want to go to those famous spots and take pictures and post it on your story.
But the travel is not about the content; it's about the connection that you want to make at the end. The connection with the place, the connection with the area, the connection with nature, whatever it is. So it's just forget about the content or the social media thing part of it, and go with regards to the connection.
Right. I think people forget when traveling, they are with the kind of influence of social media today. They're mostly traveling to make pictures in near Burj Khalifa or in Dubai Fountain or whatever, and they forget that, they forget to live that whole experience. Enjoy that trip, enjoy the moment, leave the phone aside, leave social media aside. This is totally true, and I believe that this is kind of, especially with the younger generation, the Gen Zs of the world today, they are kind of too much in doom scrolling and creating moments for Instagram.
We've spoken in the beginning about Russia, like areas to go. And I mentioned an area called Kamchatka. This Kamchatka, if you go, your phone will not work. So you're disconnected for, you're going for a week. You're absolutely disconnected for a week.
Do you believe it's good to be in a situation like that where you're disconnected from the world and you're just with yourself and the moment?
I hope I can.
It's very hard with our working schedule.
It's super hard, but I hope to be forced, like in places like this, to be forced, there is no other option.
Right.
That will get you the maximum enjoyment.
Right. What about packing tips? Is there any specific way you pack your bags, or you have any advice for people to pack their bags?
I'm not that type of good in it, but let's put it this way.
You have assistants to pack for you now,
No,
I think.
it's not about this. It's not even about this. It's about packing by nature, it gives you the feeling as it teaches you something about life, right?
Right.
In a way of, you cannot leave life with everything.
Right.
Okay? So that's packing what teaches you. But for me, it's different. I'm like a pharaoh. Like I'm from Egypt. I'm a pharaoh. So I believe I'm leaving life with everything. So when I'm packing as if I'm moving countries.
So you overpack?
Absolutely overpack. So people say travel light. I say travel and be prepared for whatever it is.
I have the same tendency because sometimes I don't know when I'm traveling whether I'm going to wear this t-shirt or this jeans. So I tend to overpack.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be challenging, but yes, I think.
Totally.
So
if you get my wife,
is that the way Pharaoh lives?
No. And if you get my wife on the chair, she overpacks.
Okay.
Be prepared.
So you have someone better than you.
Yeah.
Amazing. And normally I don't ask this question to guys, but I notice you and I will ask you this question. Do you have a jewelry dilemma when you travel? Do you travel with jewelry or you leave your jewelry behind? Because as men, we are limited jewelry, but we are accessorizing ourselves with watches and bracelets and chains. And so do you think as a traveler, you should travel with your accessories, or is it a risk in certain countries, or what's your advice on that?
A lovely question. See, at the end of the day, we're business people. There is a little bit of rationale that comes in. So it depends on the place. But the best thing is to reduce as much as possible. Reduce the expensive stuff, the jewelry, the things that you can be a target. Because there are places
especially if you're
you can
going
be a
to
target.
maybe Latin America or African countries. But
Even
if you come to
somewhere
Dubai, it's fine, I guess. It's not it's not a problem.
Dubai is Dubai is the only case.
Safe country.
It is the only. But even Europe, you can't do that. So
I've heard of a lot of mugging and pickpocketing happening in Denmark, in Spain, in Barcelona,
UK, France.
It's quite common there. Yeah.
So be careful.
Even though one would never expect that such a advanced country would have these kind of challenges.
But you need to be careful. At the end of the day, you're not traveling to show off.
Right.
Okay, so you're not traveling to show off or to put a statement.
Right.
Sometimes a lot of our jewelries are for a statement or for a positioning, for a particular purpose.
Right.
You're not traveling for this. You're traveling for yourself.
Yeah, you're traveling to relax. You're traveling to explore a new country, a new city, a new vibe. So it's not necessary, it depends on where you're going actually. Great. So let's break from the travel part and let's talk about your what you call your alpha movement. Right. So what does being an alpha mean in today's world, and how is it different from the traditional definition of power and success?
Oh my God.
Is alpha about power and success, or what is the alpha movement about?
The modern alpha is absolutely different than the traditional alphas that we know. Okay. First of all, we're talking about masculinity. So
yes.
No, an alpha now these days can be a male or can be a female. Okay, because the traits.
So it's not the alpha male.
No, it is the traits. So it's a character attributes. Before we used to say the alpha means the what? The dominant, the egocentric, the controller, These are all old. When we're talking about modern alphas, these are the people. One thing to sum it up, I'll say that these are the people who are stop button is broken. So we don't stop. So when we spoke before coming, how was your day? We're on. We're going. There is no stop.
So it's a non-stop
towards what we want.
Towards our goals, achievements, objectives.
Whatever it is. And the other character attributes, these are the people who are the ones that take tough decisions. We live in an era where a lot of people, they just sit with their decision stacking on the shoulders and they cannot make a decision. Either it's emotional, either it's logical, either. But the people that make tough decisions, take tough decisions. These are the people who are impactful, influential. These are the people responsible for their circle, the beloved ones. These are all traits of the modern alpha. Again, not the dominant, egocentric, so on and so forth. But let me be clear with it. If having all these traits and you will perceive me as a dominant, egocentric, no. It can be part of the game, but it's not it. It's a
misconception that an alpha is egoistic and dominant,
Yeah,
and it's only
true.
a male thing. What you're saying
not.
is, based on what you just told me, is that it's not gender biased. So in today's world, there can be alpha female, there can be alpha male, as well as it's not about the dominance, the power, the strength. It's more about a lifestyle that you live and more about the way of life. Like you said, like being at it, the hustle. Making sure you're taking the decisions and you're going on with
100%.
everything. Wow.
And you don't need to be alpha 24/7. If we're talking about a woman, you can be an alpha outside of home.
But inside the home, you're a different persona.
Absolutely.
So you're saying that as an individual, whether you're a male or female, you can have different personas, and those personas can coexist in today's world, and maybe inside the home, you're a different persona. In the office, you're a different persona.
Of course.
When you go for a networking event, you're a different persona. It's not necessarily that you have to be the same persona all the time.
And as an example that I said on the woman, because woman can be an alpha outside means like they're running their business, they're doing the work, in their communication, so on and so forth. But at home, she's a wife. So that's a different thing. Or let's say like there are a group of people here, and let's say, for example, Trump entered. Alpha by nature is the top of the pyramid. So if somebody will ask who's the alpha, it's going to be Trump. So you were just the alpha now. No, there's another one now. So you need to be a little bit flexible.
So it's always changing. It's always like the alpha in the room may not be the same person. Like at one point, there is one person who's the alpha. At the other point,
exactly,
the alpha would change because
adaptability, which comes from travel as well.
Of course, travel teaches you that, and that's part of the travel essence. It's very, very interesting perspective, and I think people should actually read your book because I'm sure that it talks a lot about the alpha,
of course, the values, the
facets
traits,
and factors and the pillars and everything. Right. So I want to understand now a very important part of your life. You were a corporate leader. You had roles like the CMO at Samsung, right? And then you moved towards entrepreneurship and personal development. What triggered that shift? How did this all change for you?
Like when you keep running or climbing a ladder, let's not say a ladder even, you're climbing a mountain. When you're talking about corporate with the size of Samsung, when you're climbing this ladder or climbing this mountain, and then you reach the top of the mountain and you understand this mountain is not yours.
It doesn't belong to you.
It's not mine. And there is one thing is like accumulating income. I'm going through this ladder or going through this mountain up and up, and I'm accumulating income. But where is the impact? So these are the turning points that I had. Like this mountain is not mine, and I feel that I am built for purpose. I'm built for impact. I'm built for influence. So I need to jump the boat.
Wow, it's something very deep, And that kind of realization is not easy because when you are climbing a mountain, sometimes your goal is to reach the peak, or sometimes you may not climb the mountain all the way. You might just give up midway through, or your plans might change. You might think that, okay, this is not the mountain I want to climb. I'm going to go down and go to another mountain.
True.
Is that part of the whole evolution cycle?
And I'll tell you one example that made it clear to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing in Samsung or in the mountain, and I had a health issue. And that time I was sitting on a chair that's running almost or managing almost 600 to 800 people, a business size of $3 billion.
Wow.
And then you were in the hospital. And since you're in the hospital, an interim CMO sits on your chair. And like, okay, you will make it or you will not make it, it's fine. So this mountain is not mine.
Right, like they say, the show must go on. So people can be replaced. Nobody is irreplaceable.
True.
So today you are the owner of this whole, position, and you're leading this. But tomorrow, if you're down due to whatever reason, due to health issues and other issues, there will always be somebody to replace you.
On the spot.
On the spot. And it doesn't take time.
On the spot.
This is the corporate leadership dilemma.
True.
Because in the corporate world, the company is larger than the individual.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop for one person. It's not a showstopper.
Totally.
Wow, this is something very deep, I guess.
It works for different personalities. Some people can accept it and some people don't. In my standpoint, it's a no. So this mountain is not mine and I need to have an impact more than the income.
So I guess the realization for you was that, without taking any names, that, this doesn't belong to me. So let me build something that I was built for, or my purpose, and create a movement which actually resonates to me and my lifestyle, and I have the full control and ownership rather than having some other giant multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I don't know whether I'm going to be here or I'm not going to be here, or what's
100%.
going to happen with my...
100%.
Let's talk about some cornerstones. I remember, and from what I looked up about you, that you often talk about discipline and fitness as cornerstones of success, right? How did you maintain that discipline while constantly traveling and building businesses globally? How do you manage this? What do you do?
I don't maintain. There is no maintain. There is non-negotiables.
Right.
It doesn't cross my mind.
Okay.
How it's built in me, it's a very tough question because I'm a sportsman by nature.
Right.
So the discipline, the consistency that I have to train even if I have the mood or not mood. Because if I go into the ring, I can get kicked. So it doesn't matter my mood. It doesn't matter the day. How does the day look like?
You have to maintain...
non-negotiable.
Is it natural? Does it come automatically? Is it just by default? Or you need to push yourself? Sometimes you have those days when you just don't feel like doing a workout, or you just don't feel like hitting the gym, right? Or do you face that kind of situations?
Like any human.
Right.
Absolutely, like any human. There are
so even alpha will go through this.
Of course, like any human.
It's emotion.
Absolutely, like any human. But the point is non-negotiable. It pisses me off. You have to, if a person feels that he's not capable of doing this, make it on small steps. I'll do this. Even if I will go to gym and not exercise.
Wow.
I will do one workout. But it's done.
Amazing.
Regardless, with work, with fitness, with whatever it is. Just do the step. Because psychologically, when you don't do the step, you label yourself subconsciously. So for example, if I'm...
So it's self-discipline, or it's self-training yourself, or tuning your mind?
Self-mastery.
Self-mastery.
Self-mastery in a sense, like if I'm reading a book and I stop in the middle of the book, you are subconsciously labeling yourself a quitter.
Right.
You're starting a project.
Like you lost interest in the book.
Absolutely.
Or you read 3-4 pages and then you wanted to read it, but somehow something else came in your life and you kind of gave up on that.
100%. But again, it will label yourself with a stamp in your subconscious that you're a quitter, which means I'm going to go to something else. And if I I see a difficulty or boredom or I'm going to what? Press the quit button. I'm going to quit. And that's why majority of the people, you see them pivoting a lot. Like, let me start trading. Oh, it didn't bring me money a lot.
I lost money, so I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to
do something else. Or I'm on social media, I see the guy selling courses, then I'm going to do a course. Then I'm going to do a course for a couple of months, and then I press what? My quit button, which is embedded in my subconscious. So you keep yourself in the loop of, I'm a quitter, it's fine, no problem. I'm going to be a quitter. So whatever you start, as an advice, whatever you start, finish.
Just focus on it and go for it, and don't let any distractions come in between. And people do multitasking, but at least let's be at it and let's complete it, and let's not get deviated from It's interesting. You spoke about reading a book, and I meant to speak to you about your own book,
Yeah.
Unleash the Alpha. This is about mindset, growth, and self-leadership.
Yeah.
If you had to summarize it in one lesson for listeners, what would be that one chapter? Like if I have to take your entire book and condense it into like a summary, or because I want people to know about your book and what it teaches, the mindset, the discipline, and can you talk a little bit about the book and what it teaches people?
Okay, so the book in general, it summarizes my journey. From being an athlete, and a corporate executive to an entrepreneur. So it summarizes the lessons that I lived by to reach where I am now, from safe perspective again. And it's built on a concept of watch me. So everybody has a trigger in them. Every human
Yes.
has a trigger that push them, that propel them. Okay, there are some triggers that push you down. There are some triggers that push you front. My trigger is when somebody challenges me. So it's more of a mindset game. So when you challenge me with something, 100% you're over. 100%. I don't even doubt it. Like it's like an athlete mindset. So if you challenge, my response is gonna be even a silent response. Watch me. And that's what my why is.
Right.
And it gets embedded in this. But to summarize the book in a nutshell, that your competition is never the one outside. Your competition is the person inside. So if you master yourself, self-mastery, it is guaranteed. Look, I'm putting it in that way.
Right.
It's guaranteed that you're going to achieve what you put for yourself. But if you are always competing with the outside, you're coming from a place of subtraction. So you're always less. So whatever you're trying to do, you won't be able to achieve it. Self-mastery.
Right. Self-mastery. It's a key word that I'm going to
Absolutely.
remember, and I think the audience will also remember. And like what you said, that your biggest competitor is you yourself. So you need to be a better version of yourself every step of your life. Maybe I don't know how people want to measure it in terms of milestones, whether it's a daily, weekly, monthly,
100%.
yearly. So you have to keep improvising and keep becoming a better version to become that real.
100%. And I want to give an example on the city of Dubai. We, like humans, by nature, lives in a competitive landscape or
Right.
a competitive mindset. They're always competing with the outsiders.
So is it, when you talk about competition, it's also about comparison, right?
Of course.
Like it's
No,
like,
of course.
oh, he's wearing a Rolex and I have a Tissot, and now let me
exactly.
get a Rolex, so
Exactly.
I'm better than him, right? So
100%.
this is kind of comparison, right?
True.
But it's also competitiveness at the same time.
100%. But this city, Dubai, teaches these people that you're going to be screwed. Because if you stayed in this mindset that I'm competing with somebody outside of me, no matter who you will surpass, there is somebody above you.
Yes, there is always somebody better than you.
And it's visible in this city because this city
Strikingly.
attracts top talents, top wealth. So if you're competing with the outsider, you will always feel that you are less. So the book puts you in a perspective that you master yourself, the self-mastery, so you're competing only with yourself. And that will give you the satisfaction. I'm not saying that you don't be hungry, but there is a hungry on being real.
Yeah, there's a difference between hunger and greed.
Exactly.
So I think the hunger part is where the passion comes from.
True.
And the greed part is where the destruction comes from. Because
Exactly, true.
You become greedy and you lose everything.
100%.
Right, because you kind of, it's a vicious circle.
100%.
Right, so I also want to connect this with your mentorship, right? You have actually helped thousands of people and people to build their confidence and clarity through your mentorship and the Alpha Mastermind, right? So what's the most common block that you see that holds people back or, that stops their potential? So can you tell us a little bit about your mastermind and how that program works and what's the block you see that people have and how your program helps to fix that block?
I believe that in order to succeed in your life, you need to have 80% control of your mindset and 20% of the skill sets that you have. I would say majority of the people have blockage in 2 or 3 areas. One of them is the motivation, which is I'm not motivated to do something, right? But it's not about motivation. It's about the discipline that you build. It's about the system, the structures, and. So first part is the motivation. I need to clap for you to do something. That's one part. The second part is the comparison. Majority of the people live their life to impress, okay? So I'm doing a lot of things to impress, but not to express. So if you live your life on impressing rather than expressing. You're living a life not yours. And whatever you're going to achieve, you're going to feel unfulfilled.
Right.
Because I'm doing it to impress you. Correct? But I'm not expressing myself. So these are the two, I would say majority of the people have these mental blocks in them. So if they pass these two things, a lot will change. I give an example that my wife don't like me to say, but let's say.
Okay.
She will give us a big excuse now. Let's say if Seif popped off, okay? And in his funeral, how many people will really come, care, and cry that this guy popped off? I'm saying care, cry, that level. 10 people. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's say the weather is bad. Thunderstorm, rain. Out of this 10, 5 will come. So I'm living all my life to impress. And when I pop off, it's not worth.
You spoke about something very deep, and that actually brings me to one very important thing. Right, I also believe in this in a big way. Like, okay, today you're here, tomorrow you may not be here, whatever the situation might be. But what is it that we can do to leave a legacy behind that is actually going to help future generations of people? Nowadays, at least with, I know that content creation has two sides of it, right? So when you create content, it stays there forever, right? But if you use that to educate people and teach people, that's at least some legacy you can leave behind. With the podcast that we are doing today,
true,
this will remain on YouTube forever. It's not going to go away.
Unless YouTube goes
So
off.
my belief is that with this kind of education or with this kind of sharing that we are doing with the people, this is the legacy we can truly leave behind, because people might come to your funeral or not, they might not come, but this video will stay and they will watch it even 100%. When you're gone or whatever happens to you in life.
Just to correct this funeral part.
Yeah.
The funeral part is not about how many people come. It's about like, how can I make the effect of people's opinion on me,
right,
while nobody cares. So don't make the opinion of people hit you so much.
Right.
So like I love to say, like it's like a remote control. Put it on mute, I can see your mouth moving, and like I'm fine. About the legacy part, the best thing in life, there are two types of people.
Yeah.
One type of them is I like to build companies, right?
Yeah.
But companies go and come, correct? You
Correct.
build it, 10 years, things will change. And now with AI and the future development, the companies will exist 4 or 5 years and the best thing which to leave legacy is to build people.
Yeah, human capital.
To build people, human capital, leave an impact on the people. That's the best legacy you can leave.
Amazing. Actually, as a matter of fact, I was at an event yesterday and we did speak about some of these things. And today, I believe the horizon of the companies is even shorter. Yeah. And obviously, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, when you build a company, you always begin with the end in mind. You have an exit strategy. You're like, okay, I'm building this. These are my milestones and growth. And I want to exit in 3 years, 5 years. I want to cash out with so much money. Maybe I will sell my company, right? That's kind of very common way of looking at things right now, right? So what you spoke is very relevant. And it's actually adding to what we discussed.
Of course.
Right, we're gonna change the pace a bit now. We're gonna go into a rapid fire section.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you questions, and I just want you to pick one. Okay.
Sure.
So here you're gonna pick one: window seat or aisle seat.
I love window.
Great. Luxury hotels or cozy boutique stay?
Lovely one. It's luxury, but luxury with soul.
Luxury with soul.
With soul means
that's a new one.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Luxury with soul. Luxury with
because it's
story.
not just luxury to be fancy, but it has to have some meaningfulness.
Soul.
Right. Adventure trip or relaxing getaway?
Adventure.
Great. Solo travel or group travel? How do you prefer your travels?
Absolutely solo.
Great. Sunrise flights or red-eye overnight flights?
Sunrise or overnight? Doesn't matter, but overnight to catch up the sun.
Planned itinerary or spontaneous trips?
Absolutely spontaneous.
Okay. Mountains or beaches?
Both.
Okay, great. Big city or off-the-grid escapes?
In this phase, off-grid.
Great. Backpack or suitcase?
2 suitcases.
2 suitcases. 5-star restaurants or street food?
In new cultures, new countries, street food.
Amazing. So now this is would you rather? Would you rather be stuck at an airport for 24 hours or lose your baggage for a week?
I lose my baggage for a year.
For a year. But you don't want to be stuck at the airport. Okay. Only visit tropical beaches or snowy mountains for the rest of your life?
Rest of my life, beach.
Beaches, okay. Travel for free but never choose the destination, or always pay full price but get to choose where you go?
I choose.
Okay. Never use the map again or never use the local language, never speak the local language?
Never use a map.
Visit only places you have been to before or never visit the same place again?
You know, it's a tough one, but I'd love to see new places, yeah.
Great. Okay, this is the one and only, right? So the one destination everyone should visit before they die?
Egypt.
Egypt? MashaAllah, I've been there. It's beautiful, amazing, great
you know,
people.
because it's not a country, it's a civilization.
Civilization, it's the ancient history and the food. Right, I remember I had the pigeon. The pigeon.
Oh, you had the pigeon?
Yeah, with the stuffed rice. It was crazy. In a restaurant called Abu Shakra, but in Cairo.
Abu Shakra. Yes. It's a good one. It's a
one of our partners took us there. So the one country that surprises you every time you go there?
Italy, for example.
Amazing.
It's because, you know, it's like chaos and art at the same time. Like, what the heck is happening?
The one travel experience that changed your life?
Dubai.
Dubai?
For the reason I said.
The one thing you always buy as a souvenir when you travel?
Like old money.
Okay, you collect money.
Money collector.
Money collector.
Because you see the ambitions, you see the empires from the money.
The one thing you always forget to pack. I know we spoke about packing, that it teaches you a lot, but do you forget something to pack while you're packing?
Very tough to forget something. It's like the machine is working always. No, it's very tough.
It's very tough. So your mind is tuned to programmed. Okay, this has to be there. This has to be there. That's great, Seif. We're going to wrap this episode with this discussion. I hope you had a good conversation and you enjoyed the time in the studio.
Absolutely loved it. It's been interesting.
So where can the listeners actually connect with you? Can you please share your social media handles?
Of course, you can find me on Instagram, like at Seif El Hakim, or just write Seif El Hakim at Google. You're going to get all my links.
Great. We're going to make sure to plug Seif's all handle. So please make sure to follow him and watch his content. And thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can listen to this podcast on all your favorite podcast channels, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, whatever you feel like. Listen in and enjoy this conversation. Thank you and see you in the next one.
Thank you, brother, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.